Today, we're diving into a story called Mirage, and it's a powerful one. It really breaks down the anatomy of a gambling addiction. We're going to follow a path that starts with just one single bet, something that seems totally innocent, and watch how it can systematically take a life apart piece by piece. Let's get into it.
So this is the big question, isn't it? How does it happen? Because it never starts with a disaster. It always begins with something small, a moment of curiosity, maybe a little bit of boredom, and that feeling of, why not? Let's just try my luck once.
And this is it. This is where it all kicks off. $10. I mean, it's such a tiny amount, it's almost meaningless, right? It's the kind of money you'd spend on lunch and not even think about it. It feels completely harmless, because at this point, it's not even about the money. It's about the excitement.
But that small bet leads to a big win, a sudden rush of cash that you weren't expecting. And right here, this is the moment everything pivots. This is where a simple game transforms into something way, way more dangerous. The trap is officially sprung.
So now we're in what the source calls the first wins trap. This is where that sweet poison of easy money really starts to seep in. All of a sudden, the money you earn from your 9-to-5 job feels slow. It feels insignificant. And this dangerous idea starts to form. Maybe this isn't just luck. Maybe this is a skill. Heck, maybe this could be a new career. And this is what's happening under the hood, inside your brain. That first win unleashes this massive dopamine rush. But here's the thing. It's not just a happy feeling. It's a powerful biological signal that tells your brain, do this again. It basically hijacks your rational thought process, creating this powerful illusion that you're in control when really it's just pure chance. Your brain is literally being rewired to chase that feeling over and over again. But a high like that, it never lasts. It can't. Sooner or later, the winning streak disappears and the losses start to pile up. But now, the mind is hooked on that initial feeling. It refuses to accept defeat. It just frames the losses as a bad patch, just a temporary setback before the next big win.
This comparison just lays out the twisted logic perfectly. The gambler tells themselves, oh, I'm just playing with the house's money. But the reality? They're burning through their time and their own mental peace. They think, I just need to get back to even. But what's really happening is the birth of a vicious revenge betting cycle. They're chasing losses, sacrificing their actual savings, all for a fantasy.
And this is absolutely crucial. At this point, it's not even about winning anymore. It's about not losing. Their ego is on the line. To stop now would be to admit defeat, to be a loser. And that fear becomes a much bigger motivator than any jackpot ever could be.
Okay, so this is where the damage starts to spread, like a virus, into every other part of life. The savings are gone, so people start asking questions. And to hide the truth, the lies begin. Oh, there were salary cuts at work, or business is slow. Any excuse to cover up where the money is really going. And you can see this terrifying logical progression. First, it's your own savings. Once that's gone, you turn to the people who trust you the most, your friends, your family, making up fake emergencies. When that well runs dry, you go to high-interest moneylenders. And then finally, when you're truly desperate, you start pawning things, irreplaceable things, your spouse's jewelry, family heirlooms, anything with value.
And it's not just the bank account that's in shambles. The person themselves begins to change. The constant stress, the guilt, the secrecy, it all boils over as irritability, anger, sudden outbursts. They become a stranger in their own home, poisoning the very relationships they claim they're trying to protect.
As the debt and the lies stack up, something inside just breaks. The gambler crosses a dark threshold, a point of no return where the addiction is in full control. The numbers on the betting screen become more real, more important than the actual people in their life.
We talk a lot about the financial cost, but this is the true cost, and it's devastating. It's the missed birthdays you can never get back. It's the shattered trust that may never fully heal. It's neglecting aging parents who count on you. It's the slow, painful destruction of your own self-respect. This is the real toll.
So what happens when there's nothing left? Nothing left to pawn, nothing left to borrow, nothing left to lose. This is that final threshold. This is rock bottom, the bottom of a deep, dark pit they've been digging for themselves.
And the picture here is just bleak. The money's gone, the trust is gone. All that's left is a mountain of debt and this crushing, overwhelming regret. The source describes it as
a parasite, just eating you alive from the inside out. Depression and self-hatred become your new reality.
And right here, this is the single most important realization on the entire road to recovery. It's a bitter pill to swallow for sure, but it is the only thing that can break the cycle. The trap isn't just the loss, it's the desperate false hope of winning it all back. Accepting that the money is gone for good, that is the first real courageous step toward freedom.
So, the final lesson is simple, but it's the absolute truth of this whole story. The house always wins. The system is designed for you to lose. The only way you can ever truly beat the game is to stop playing it. And with that decision, the long, hard road to recovery can finally begin.
And this is such a profound shift in perspective. The source explains that after all the chaos, all the highs and lows, earning just a little bit of money through honest, hard work, it brings a sense of peace and satisfaction that no six-figure jackpot ever did. It's about rebuilding a life on something real, on integrity, not on a fantasy.
So we'll end with this question, which is really the core message from Mirage. The game only has power over you as long as you're at the table. The moment you accept the loss and make the choice to walk away, you've already won back the only prize that ever mattered, your life.